channel. Today we're talking about how to minimize spending. Let's get started. Now the first thing to do is to track your expenses. Now we must understand that spending money is a necessary part of life. Now it is also important that we make sure that we're not overspending or wasting any money. Now how do we do this? You track your expenses, make a list of all your expenses, the things you're supposed to pay for or the things you're supposed to buy at a particular point in time. Make a list of everything and their costs. Look at your bank statements, your credit cards, and your receipt for past months. Now, why are we doing this? Now, this will give you a clear picture of where your money is going into and help you to identify areas that you need to cut back. Now, the second step is to cut off unnecessary expenses. Now, take note of all your expenses. Take note of every single one of your expenses. Take note of your needs, take note of your wants. Now, while identifying these things, you will notice that there are some things that you don't really need, which shows that you have been wasting money purchasing that thing. Yes, it shows that person have been wasting money. Now, by cutting off unnecessary expenses, you can use that money and invest it in something that is very much more important. Now that we have established a little bit of importance on how minimizing spending, how do you actually do this? That's where the next step comes in. Sleep on it. Now, I don't mean actual sleep. Now, what I mean is this. Before purchasing any product, always make sure you give it a thought. Like 2 to 3 days. Give it a thought. Think about it. Do I really need it? What is the essence of this thing? Is it essential? You need to give your purchasing decisions thoughts. Yes, in order to prevent unnecessary spending, whereby flushing down your money in the drain. Now, the next step is to avoid impulsive spenders. Now, if your friends are impulsive buyers, where they go, they say this, I want to buy it, they say this, I want to buy it, it's advisable not to go out with them, most especially for shopping. It is advisable not to go out with them, because by the time you go out with them, you'll be enticed to buy things. Therefore, and at the end, you figure out that you've wasted money buying most of the things you don't actually need. So avoid impulsive buyers as much as possible. They're your friends, you can hang out, you can go out to different places, but when it comes to shopping and spending unnecessarily, it is better to be wise. Now, the next step is to save. Now, there's a rule called the 10% rule. What does that mean? That means you should save at least 10% of all your income. Now, if you can't save 10%, that's not a problem. You start from 1%, 2%, 3%, and so on until you eventually get there. You might even increase it more than 10. It's your choice. Now, saving is very important because it covers a lot for you in your life. Very, very important. It's either you save or you eventually end up being broke. And that is the truth. The next step is called embracing minimalism. Now, before you buy a product or before you make any purchase, make your research, compare prices, look for discounts. Now, this doesn't make you a miser, neither does it make you greedy. It doesn't. Now, minimizing spending can be very challenging, especially if you are putting up with a particular lifestyle. It can be very challenging, but there's nothing there. You can be enjoying yourself and still spend your money wisely. Yes, everybody has different financial situations, so it is not shameful to be mindful of how you spend your money. Now, the last step is to create a financial goal. Create a budget. How much do you plan on saving? How much do you plan on saving in the next 2 years? How much do you plan your money to become? In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, how much do you want in your account? So create a budget, stick to it, and please be consistent in it. Very, very important. Consistency is very, very important. Remember, it is all these small changes that will link to a long-term savings. I hope these tips and tricks have helped you, and I encourage you to leave your own tips or tricks in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.